What is going on, people of Yeousch Recruits? I am the OG commentator, but most of you probably don't know who I am for the fact that this is my first time posting to Yeousch Recruits. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the content that I'm bringing you guys today, and hopefully I don't get too much hate. But before we talk about the topic at hand, I want to explain the gameplay a little bit because I have a few things to talk about, and some people like myself enjoy watching the gameplay. So today I'm playing Modern Warfare 3 in the Call of Duty series, playing Kill Confirmed on the map Bakara. I don't know if that's actually how you say it, that's how it kind of looks, and that's how I've always called it in my mind. So if that's wrong, I'm sorry, but the class I'm using today is the M16 with the red dot for precision accuracy and the rapid fire so I can get more burst off in a short amount of time using the attachment's proficiency, of course. This gun is definitely one of my most favorite guns to use now that Modern Warfare 3 has buffed it, along with the UMP45, the MP5, the AK47, and I feel I'm missing one, but I'm not really sure. The perks I'm using today are Scavenger, so I have enough bullets to go on long kill streaks, Hardline, so it's a little bit easier for me to get those long kill streaks, and Marksman, so I can see people at a longer range. For the fact that I'm using an M16, it is a burst weapon used for long range combat, so Marksman is definitely the best choice of the third perk tier. So in this gameplay, I wanted to talk about how laggy it was. This gameplay was just ridiculous to get in the first place, but there was a host migration around 3 minutes, and as you can see right now, I can't even walk. I mean, it was pretty ugly, and using a burst fire weapon made it even harder because the bullets were just not landing sometimes. But other than that, I did end up with a pretty nice score for Kill Confirmed, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But now we gotta move on to the topic that is at hand, and today I'll be talking about, do violent video games cause violence? And that is a question that I've always thought through my childhood. Is that even true? I mean, I have been raised well, and I know the difference between a video game and in real life, but I don't know, some kids may not know the difference, and do games like Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Battlefield 3, all those games, do those games lead to aggressive actions and such like that? I've looked up my research on the topic, and I found some pretty interesting articles that I will be reading to you, and hopefully you guys can give me your opinions on that today. So in this first article, the thing reads, research finds that children who play violent video games or watch violent TV can become violent themselves. But what drives this change? Are the kids simply mimicking what they see on the screen, or could gaming have a more profound effect on their brains, affecting their behavior? Now this article clearly matches up what I'm going to be talking about today. It matches perfectly, and I already read through all of it, and I will not be telling you the thesis of it, but we will be going through it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this. So to start off, there's this doctor named Vincent Matthews and his colleagues at Indiana University, where they, led this test of taking 28 students, having half of them play non-violent video games and having the other half play violent video games for a week. And at the beginning of the test, they made all the students take MRI scan tests to see their brains functioning after seeing words that may have to do with, violence or non-violence, to see how their brains react normally. Researchers found that those who played the violent video games showed less activity in areas that involved emotions, attention, and inhibition of our impulses. I don't even know what that word means, but clearly has to do something with your mind. But then Dr. Matthews says the effects on this were really short, and it goes on saying it's not clear how long-lasting the changes may be to the brain scans. When Matthews brought the participants back after a week of not playing video games, their brain activity has changed again, reverting to more normal reactions, but their brain functions still weren't quite the same as before when exposed to the violent video games. So it's saying that yes, the people who did play the violent video games, their reactions to the aggression and stuff, that has changed, but it also says that after a week of not playing it, like you played for a week and then you get a week off, there is no aggression. So maybe that's why commentators always take those breaks off, because it's probably really nice not to play Call of Duty all the time. Maybe let your mind have a little bit of freeness, but I don't get too angry when I play this game, even just like off playing it and getting killed by noobs. Just in general, this game does not bother me too much for the fact that I like it. But he does go on to say that the effects go away. So clearly it's not long lasting. It's not like if you play violent video games as a kid, that's the reason you're gonna grow up to kill people. That's not what it's saying at all. He's saying that the changes do revert, and the people who do say that the violent video games have an effect on adults if they played it as kids, that is the problem, when that clearly had nothing to do with it at all. Then it goes on to say, one task the participants completed while being scanned assessed their response to violent versus non-violent words. The participants were presented with violent words such as hit, harm, and kill, and non-violent words like run, walk, and talk, each in different colors. Participants were asked to identify the color of each word rather than the word itself, a variation of common physiological tests such as the strobe effect. Normally there's a delay in identifying the color, since we tend to process the meaning of the word we read first, before noting the color of the letters. Researchers found that those who played the non-violent video games showed the normal delay, but also showed increasing activity in the emotional parts of the brain when facing the violent words. The violent game players, meanwhile, showed similar brain activity in the baseline test, but after a week of playing video games, they revealed significantly less action in their emotional brain centers. Another task designed to test participants' attention and concentration showed declines in the violent game group after a week of play. The men were presented with a numeral 1, 2, or 3, repeating numbers of times, and were asked to press the button indicating not the numeral itself, but how many times it appeared. The violent game players showed decreased activity in the parts of the brain that regulate attention and concentration. So with that being said, they're saying that if you play violent video games, your ability to react and attention span is going down. I have no clue why this happens, but it definitely does. I mean, they're not making up these studies. I'm just trying to explain to you guys. And it goes on to say, the brain changes do not appear permanent, but documenting the brain does change in the response to playing violent video games. Even just for an hour or two a day for a week, it is significant, advancing in understanding how young players may be affected by these games. The brain changes that Matthews' group saw were similar to those in teens with destructive psychopathic disorders, and his results, along with those from previous studies showing shorter-term effects, have been used in court cases by parents in hoping to limit video games played among their children. Individuals and parents who choose to play video games need to be aware that the changes in brain functions need to be considered whether they participate in the game or not. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that really scares me right now to think people with psychopathic disorders that go on rampages, and those are the people who, are not all in the head right now, and they have the same brain functions as you do after playing Modern Warfare 3, Battlefield 3, or like Grand Theft Auto. I don't know about you guys, but that personally just scares me, and that answers the question, do violent video games lead to violent actions? And yes, they do. But my personal opinion is, if you are raised correctly and you know the difference between a video game and real life, and you don't let that, get into your mind, it's clearly not a bad thing. But I mean, letting your kids play those games will definitely not, it makes them think differently, and that's not okay. So yes, it can change your actions, but if you're raised correctly and you live stably, I think you'll be okay. But hopefully you guys did enjoy that commentary topic. I enjoyed looking that all up. That was all brand new news to me, and now I know that I am a psycho, I guess. So if you guys did enjoy that commentary and you'd like to see more of that and tips and tricks, make sure you come over to my channel and subscribe. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the content over there. The gameplay is wrapping up very shortly. I would like to thank you if this does get on Yeousch Recruits. I would like to thank anyone who put it up there and anyone who liked it and enjoyed what I had to say to you guys today. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. The gameplay is wrapping up with I think I went 56-4. So yep, I hope you guys have a nice day. It's been the OGCommentator, Yeousch Recruits. I'm gone, and I will see you the next time I can upload a Yeousch Recruits video. So later guys, I'm gone. Deuces baby.